hello, hello. Hello, beautiful soulpreneurs. How are you? If you do watch this, let me know you saw this. If you have questions, put them down. If you have any of your own reflections, I would love to hear it. Hello, hello, hello. It's Falake B here. How are you doing today? Let me know you came by. Let me know you saw this. Let me see your presence. So all this week I'm doing Q&A to get me back into the motion of things as I've been off for over a month. And if you didn't see my live on Monday, I introduced it. I said, you know what? I'm coming back and I'm going to use this Q&A as an opportunity to get back into our community and just show up. So I'm picking some of the questions that I have got over time and I'm just answering them in here, and I'll be doing that all this week, which is really going so fast. And if you're still newish in here and you don't know who I am, or perhaps maybe you're even an oldie and you still don't know who I am, and like, who is this person? My name is Falake B, and I am I guess you can say the guide, the host of this group, Soulpreneurs. And one of the reasons why I put together this group was I was getting this calling to bring together a group of women who are stepping into their power, stepping into their purpose, and more importantly, holding a space for us to almost claim our sovereignty, especially in this time of chaos. And for me, our sovereignty means taking that courage to really check in with ourselves and make a claim for how we want to live our life. And for some people, it's to feel like, finally going for that soul purpose work, bringing that business into a thriving place, creating your business in a way that works for you, how you want it to work. The thread is it can go on and on. So that was my motivation to bring in together this group. And it's full of amazing women, some women in here I've known for years, and some of you I'm still getting to know. So I'm really, really happy that we've got this community. And as I come back to work, this is September, I just want to bring us a little bit more closer to our purpose, to why we're here in this group. And I know that September is a month of retuning for so many people because, like I said on Monday, some of us are mothers and we've taken a little bit of a time out during August because of the children's holidays. So like myself, we're coming back in and we are starting to get that momentum going, trying to get back into momentum to start to build whatever it is that we were building before the holidays, and just building that momentum. So what's the best way to do that? With my support, by doing this Q&A. Yesterday, the Q&A that I chose was very much focused on business. So if you're very much business orientated and you're looking to increase your price, get your, maybe get the vibration of your clients a little bit higher, and also maybe do it with a little bit more ease and alignment, I would invite you to check out that one from yesterday, because there were so many beautiful nuggets that was coming out there that even when I watch it over, I was like, I really feel this. So today's one, I chose something that was more a little bit on the energy aspect of things. I mean, everything is energy. So this fits into everything. This is going to help you whether your focus is building the six-figure, seven-figure business, eight-figure business, whether your focus is is something else to do with life, bringing in your love, your soulmate, your partner, or building existing relationship with what you have. In fact, it's everything, because it's all about energy. And that's why I chose this, and I love this question. And the question was around how, first of all, the first question that was asked was, how do we keep in high vibration? And also, most importantly, how do we keep in high vibration when we're doing shadow work? So there are two elements to that. And this Q&A that I do, they're not planned. They're literally like a download, free download. So yeah, just bear with me. But how I was feeling to do this was to break it down into two. This idea around shadow work. What is shadow work, and why is it that we do shadow work? And for people, pardon me if I'm like teaching an old woman how to suck an egg. Is that what they say? If you already know, let me just touch a little bit into that. So shadow work is like going into types of work that reflect back to us aspects of us that we may feel ashamed of, or aspects of us that we hide, because maybe during childhood we've been told that aspect of us is bad, so we hide it. And sometimes they can be on a very, very subconscious level. And so they call it shadow work, because it's that shadow aspect of us, that aspect that we don't see, that aspect that we hide, that aspect that drives us subconsciously, and in most cases we do not know we're being driven by them. So it is a very important area of work. In fact, I would 100% invite everybody to do some form of shadow work, because what I find as I work more and more with women in business, particularly, say even women who have been in business for years, even women I find who are not like multi-millionaires, when we go into some of the things that are keeping them stuck, and they don't use the word stuck. What I've noticed with my clients is I would hear something like, I really want to go for it, but something is keeping me back. Or they would say like, I think there is a block somewhere, but I don't know what that block is. Now, I don't call it shadow work when I do this work with my clients, because I use more of soul integration. Because what I believe, and this is my experience, and this is my belief, and there isn't a one answer to everything. Whatever we believe, you believe is your truth. But what I believe is that with shadow work, mostly are subconscious. And because they're subconscious, they're affecting us almost in a way that I feel it's like they almost bring this split between the soul self of us and the human aspect of us, like this separation that we touch on when we're doing soul integration, which is my speciality. Soul integration, bringing the human aspect of us back together with the soul aspect of us, so we can do this journey as a whole being. And when that happens, like literally anything is possible. And what I find with shadow work is usually the thing that comes across is that whatever happened, either be in when they were a child, so somebody said something like, oh my God, you are too much, you need to pipe it down. And that little child, like that 4-year-old child, hears that, and to them it feels so big, like so massive, that you're too much, you need to pipe it down. There is an aspect of that child that child leaves behind at that particular moment when that happened. So it's almost like that child went into a state of like trying to pipe it down and leaving their one aspect of themselves behind, and there is a fragmentation there. And this happens in so many other ways. Another one that I see a lot is, and that affects women in business again, because most of my clients are women in business and women in leadership, is this thing around abandonment. So this shadow work around abandonment, where they've experienced in their life somewhere being abandoned as a child. It could be the father that left at some point, or the mother that left at some point. And it doesn't even have to be so significant. I don't know if you saw I did one of the podcasts with Emily Wilcox, and she's like a multi-millionaire. She's like created a couple of seven-figure businesses, and she's very well established. And she was talking about how she got into healing work. And one of the things that she said was this episode where she thought her mom left her in a shopping center. And, the mom left, in fact, she just got she just got lost for a while, but she couldn't find the mom, and this child went into a state of panic, of like, where is my mom? And as a child, everything feels so big. So even something like that could mean a fragmentation in that timeline for that child. So that child could then leave an aspect of her behind, and then this energy of abandonment becomes so big that we then take it throughout our own life. And then you will see fragments of it with how we are behaving, even though the person might not know that is what is making them make decisions in certain ways, where most commonly what I've seen, and actually I can also reflect on this myself, when it comes to like letting clients go, it becomes something that is so personal. Perhaps maybe they've worked with the client for the year, a full old 12 months, or even longer. When it comes to like the clients going off, it becomes that same energy comes into play, because it's the same resonance, and they start to feel the same way that they felt when that episode happened. So there are so many different things that show up that stops us, and people go, oh, I feel like there's a block. They want to do this big launch, this massive launch, and they can't fully go for it because they feel there is a block. There's something stopping me. I feel stuck. All that stuff could come back to this shadow work that we need to do. So whilst I don't necessarily label it with my clients as shadow work, one of the things that we do is to go back to the subconscious level and actually see what we're being told on that level. And I can guarantee you 100% of the time, our soul self is like so eager. I see this in my work always. The soul self, there is a distinction. There is like a clear distinction between our physical human self and the soul self. I see it. I've seen it time and time again. I see it so clearly. So I know this to be true. And the soul self is so eager. It's so eager to come together with the physical self. So in that thread, in that line, it says when we go into that subconscious level and we go to that energetic field to see what the block is, very, very quickly, the soul self will let you know. Very, very quickly, you would be told. We would see images. We would see things that clearly shows where the shadow is that needs to be integrated. So, and then we bring both together, do some healing, and make it whole. So shadow work is so, so important. But coming back to vibration, I think there is this conception that, first of all, when people talk about high vibration, I see it online always, like people talk about, you need to be in high vibration, high vibe. And what, does that mean that you always have to be like happy all the time? Like for me personally, I do not believe this is what high vibration means. I know for sure that you can like be feeling sad and in your wounds and be doing your healing and doing that shadow work and like be in the tunnel, like be in the cave, as we call it in our group. We call it like going to the cave and mine the diamonds. You can be in the cave mining the diamonds, and you can still be in high vibration. For me, high vibration means that you are still connected to the soul aspect of you. And when we're connected to the soul aspects of us, we're also connected to everything. That you are fully grounded and connected to Mother Earth. That you are connected to all the elements that makes us whole, that we are 100%. You know, so you can be in a place of like healing and huge challenges in your life, and you can still be in a high vibe. It doesn't mean that, yes, of course, maybe you're not feeling happy and you're not feeling like, oh my God, everything is great. But within you, there is still this grounding and this wholeness. And a lot of people talk about manifestation and, having to be in high vibe to be able to manifest with power, to be able to manifest very frequently. And I think that it confuses a lot of people that if I'm like, in my healing, and if I'm in my wounds, and if things are not going right for me at this present moment, it means that I cannot manifest. And that is totally the wrong way to look at things. We can like manifest with such powerful blast, even when we're doing our shadow work, even when we're in that tunnel mining those diamonds, because energy is energy. The most important thing is the energy that you are grounded in, because if you think about it, the most powerful energy, which is what we are, is this energy of love. And I don't really want to like take this to a bigger thread, but if my belief and my experience is when we talk about God, which is what we also are, it is this element and this energy of pure love. So no matter where you are, whether you are doing the shadow work and really digging in and like, uncovering your shadow and integrating with them, or perhaps maybe you're in a very challenging moment of your life to go through that transition to the next phase, as far as we stay grounded to what is real and we stay true to this pure energy of love and stay connected and feel connected with it all, like I'm sitting here and I feel this pure like love in my heart for what I do, for you ladies here. I feel connected with all the elements. I have like the candle, the fire. I have the rain was falling a minute ago. I feel like the element of water. I feel earth around me. I feel the air. I feel so connected to it all that it really doesn't matter whether I am speaking to you about things that seems not high vibe, like shadow work and painful stuff. It really doesn't matter. I am still in this beautiful essence, this beautiful energy, and this is where things are manifesting like left, right, and center. And this is why I manifest so fast, and I also believe this is why people in my presence also manifest. So high vibe, high vibration doesn't mean happy. It means really connected to our spirituality. It means like finding every moment to stay true to our true self, which is like being connected to that spirituality aspect of us. And one thing also that I used to find when I was working with some of my clients is that it can be challenging, yes, to stay connected with this spirituality aspect of us, because as women, one of the things that takes us out of high vibration is the fact that we are not just emotional, but we are spiritual beings. Women, we are spiritual beings because of the nature of our energy, this divine feminine energy that is our essence. We are spiritual beings, which means that the way that we manifest the most and the fastest and the most and then the easiest and in alignment is when we are in our spiritual state and connected to our spiritual essence. So most times I would hear women would say to me, I haven't been doing my meditation, or I haven't had time to do anything around that spiritual, on that side of things, maybe things that I've given them. And because of that, they feel a little bit like, they feel a little bit not together. They feel a little bit feeling stuck. They feel a little bit not feeling great because they are a little bit disconnected from their spirituality. So you want to stay high vibe. How can you stay high vibe for most of the time, or even always, whether you're having an up and down situation? You find ways to connect to your spirituality. And I always use this example time and time again, and some of my clients would have heard me say this. It's like a thread. It's like a bead, yeah? A bead that's got like beads and it's got a thread in between. Oh, I'm not wearing my beads. And it's got a thread in between. So each bead is like there's a bead and there's a thread and there's a bead and there's a thread and beads, thread, beads, threads. And it goes around and it make a necklace. So the beads aspect of it is where you find time and you are doing more of your spiritual stuff. You're going for a walk in nature, maybe it's for 10 minutes, or you had time to just stare at a river and just contemplate and relax, or maybe you had a little bit of time to meditate, maybe it's for 10 minutes or 15 minutes, or you had a quiet time to just be by yourself without any expectations, or you had time to do yoga, whatever it is. Those little beads, as you do more and more of them, the thread gets longer and longer. And before you know it, it becomes one huge necklace. So how do we stay in high vibration? We just find simple, even if it's 10 minutes, moments of connecting to our spirituality that brings us back into our soul self and connects us to everything. And I have a way of actually making sure that my clients always stays in this, like building these beads, like there's huge beads, huge beads, huge beads. And this is the activations that I release to them. Now they get an activation every month. And even those activations, like they are, there are different type of activations, because if you think about the spiritual aspect of us, we're talking about communing with the divine. We're talking about connecting with Mother Earth. So Mother Earth, she's got her own rhythm, and we really want to just tap into that rhythm. We want to tap into that energy. We want to connect to like our ascended masters, which is us really, a different version, a higher version of us, this ascended masters. They've got their own rhythm, their own energy. We want to connect to the soul aspect of us. Everything has got its own rhythm. Everything has got its own pulses. Everything has got its own energy. And the more you practice, you will start to recognize what that energy feels like. So our 10 minutes and 5 minutes moment of connecting to spirituality is all about tapping into those rhythm, into those pulses, into those vibration, because then we expand into them and then it crystallizes in us. And the more it crystallizes in us, the less you even have to do those exercises. Even if you went 2 days, 2 weeks, a month without doing meditation or whatever, it's already in you. It becomes a permanent state. So this should be our focus, finding ways to really connect to those rhythm of the ascended masters, of the divine mothers, of Mother Earth, of the soul, of the elements, the water, the fire, because these are the true stuff. These are the true things, not this physical 3D reflection that we are bringing back to ourselves, which sometimes tends to keep us in overwhelm and the fake world. So I really hope this has been very useful. If you have any questions to anything that I've said, drop them in the comments and I'll pick them up. If you want to connect with me for a free 30 minutes session to explore, perhaps maybe getting some of those activations there for 6 months or 12 months, drop me a DM as well, and let's chat. And I shall be back tomorrow again for another Q&A. I'll pick a question, and I'm really looking forward to it. I love you, ladies, and it's been beautiful seeing you. Have a beautiful day. Mwah.